Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. And if you are new, my name is Melissa, and it's good to have you here. And I hope you decide to stick around, join the family, subscribe, and turn your notification bell on by clicking it, because if you do that, then every time I post a video, a new one, it will let you know. And bear with me, I am brand new at this, and this is only my second video ever. So hang on, let me fix this. I feel like it's okay. I'm recording on my laptop, so I have to get it. I'm trying to get it like where it's not, the sun's not making me fade out, I guess. But anyways, glad to have you here. So I felt led to come on here and talk about something that God actually spoke to my heart for me. It was a word for me this week. And I felt led to come on here and share this in case somebody else needs this, because I think that it's good for us to always be reminded about focusing on God, because, none of us are completely ever perfected. I feel like there's always room for growth. I know I'm growing every day. I'm not perfect. I do try to seek God, and I do want to please Him, but sometimes I have to remind myself in my weak moments that I need to focus on Him. So anyways, I was just sitting out here and I had my coffee and I was really enjoying it a lot. And I was studying and I had my Bible out, and God spoke to my heart and said, I want you to share with them what I laid on your heart to share. And I want to be obedient, so that's what I'm going to do. But, and I was going to tell y'all, this is kind of off subject, kind of not. I'm a coffee person. Like, I love coffee. And I found, what was it called? It's a, syrup. I forget the name brand of it, but it's a pumpkin pie flavored syrup, and it is so good. And I had found that, and I had forgotten I had put it in the cabinet, and I was like, oh yes, I have that, because I'm looking forward to fall. So I was thankful I had that, and it was still in date. I think it doesn't run out till like 2024. So I was thankful that I found that, and I made me an iced coffee, put that in it, and some whole milk, and it is so good. And I'll be getting a vlogging camera here in a few weeks, and I'll be able to like tote it around, and I will show y'all, if y'all are interested in this, I will show y'all how I make my iced coffees and stuff, and like different ways I make it. I make cold brews, and I make the foam to go on top sometimes, and I really enjoy having my coffee and spending time with God. Like, that is just something I really enjoy. So if y'all are interested in that, let me know in the comments, and if you are, I will do that. And I just wanted to throw that out there. Anyways, I don't know. It's just something I thought that you might enjoy like I do. Okay, so anyway. Okay. There's this passage of scriptures that I really always try to incorporate in my life, because these scriptures have really helped me. It's found in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 7. And I want to share this with y'all. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Okay, now let's look at that again. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. That's the first part. Trust it, not with some of your heart, all of your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Sometimes I'm guilty of that. I want to see things the way I want to see them, and I forget I'm not trusting God when I do that. I'm leaning on the way I see it. And then acknowledge in all your ways, acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your paths. Those first two, really important. And if you think about them and break them down and really dwell on what they mean, it really speaks to the heart. It really does. And then the third verse I was talking about. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. And I really love those verses. Like, they really help me to remember that I need to focus on him and not myself and how I see things. Because if we focus on how we see things, we go by our feelings. And our feelings can be misleading sometimes. We can feel anger, which can lead to us saying things we don't mean or doing things we don't mean to do. And so it's really important to not lean on our own understanding, like the Bible says, and to focus on Him, acknowledge Him in all our ways. And I wanted to explain something else. That last verse I read, be not wise in thy own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil. Okay, when it says fear the Lord, I know that sometimes that confuses people. It did me. When I was a teenager, I remember reading a verse and it said, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind. And then here it says, fear the Lord. And I remember a time in my life when I was confused. And I was like, well, if God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, then why should we fear the Lord? And God showed me, and let me explain. And in case you were confused like I was, when it says fear the Lord, it's almost like it means respect. It's like you would in someone that's in authority over you, like your mom or your dad. You remember when you were younger, or if you went to someone's house and they give you a set of rules you had to, abide by, or maybe they told you don't touch that, don't do that, you'll get in trouble, there's consequences, don't do that. And so out of being like, oh, I better not do that, that's not good, that'll hurt me, they're telling me this to protect me, so I better not do that, I don't want to get in trouble. It's a respect thing. And that's what the Bible means when it says fear the Lord. And then there's the spirit of fear that's from the devil, where he wants you to be afraid all the time and doubt and worry. And I've had that for a long time, and I was able to conquer it through the Word of God. But I just wanted to explain that in case somebody was confused, because I know there was a time in my life that I was confused about that, and I had to deeper understand that. But anyway, and two, talking about focusing on God, back to that. It reminds me of the story in the Bible of Peter, and he was the one who walked on water, and he was looking at Jesus Christ, and he was able to walk on the water and not even be fazed by the storm or not sinking or anything, as long as he had his focus and his eyes on Jesus. And as long as he was focused on Him, he was able to walk on that water. But then, as soon as he got distracted and started looking around at the storm, he began to sink. And then Jesus he saved him. And, it made me think of how I was doing this week. I started to sink. I started to get frustrated. I started to feel a little hopeless. I started to feel those things. But here's why. Because I lost focus on Christ for just a little bit. And now I try to make God priority. I do. And I give Him time, and I do pray and seek Him. But that doesn't mean that sometimes I'll let things get to me, and I have to remind myself. And I think that we all should do this. I think we all should remind ourselves things, because none of us are ever perfected. I don't think. I think there's always room for growth, and we are humans. And to maintain self-discipline, we need to remind ourselves this. And I got kind of down and out, and I was thinking, oh, I should have put more videos up this week. I should have done this. I should have done that. This is a new channel, and I'm not doing as good as I thought I was going to do. I was starting to get distracted. And then I went to God in prayer, and He reminded me of that. And He spoke to my heart, and He said, would you go out in a storm? And I was thinking, no, I wouldn't go out. I would seek shelter, And He's like, well, then you need to seek that. You need to seek, I'm your shelter. And so I was like, wow, I needed that. And as simple as that sounds, it really means, it has such meaning and such depth in that. And I was like, I need to focus on Him and trust Him. And like I read, not lean to my own understanding. Not lean to my own understanding. Because if I do, I'm going to go on my feelings. I'm going to act on how I feel. I'm going to start sinking. I'm going to start getting hopeless and this and that and the other. And so I think every day we need to remind ourselves to focus on Him. Put in the comments, if you will. Put in the comments, I will focus on Him. I will focus on Him. And I really hope that this helps somebody, because it helped me. It's not just a word for me to help someone and someone out there to get this. This was a word for me. This had to help me. This was for me. And I thank God that He reminded me of that, because I, I think sometimes, at least for me, like, we know these things, but then do we really believe them? Do we really dwell on them? Do we really trust God like we should? And I ask myself that. I'm like, Melissa, are you trusting God like you should? Are you leaning on your own understanding? What are you doing right now, Melissa? I have to ask myself those things, and I have to correct myself and maintain self discipline, because if I don't, it's really easy to get wrapped up in emotions and stuff sometimes. And we don't want that to happen. So when we focus on Him, it can change your whole life. Focusing on Him really does. It's just like me. I didn't get in a terrible place. I started to sink, but then I remembered. Focus on Him. And then I was able to overcome, and I was able to have peace. This peace that surpasses all understanding. Like, I can't even explain it. It's like when we start to get these fleshly feelings, and then we turn our focus to Him, and we go to Him, and we lay it all at His feet. All of our worries, all of our frustrations, all of our doubts, everything. Then He's able to give us, He takes it all, and then He hands us back peace. He just washes us over in peace. And it's so amazing that He is such a good God, and He does that. But I felt led to come on here and say that. And it's crazy because, like I said, I had been frustrated about putting videos up, and mad that I didn't put more up and all this. But here's the thing. It wasn't time. It wasn't time for me to. God didn't want me to. But God took the situation and how I was feeling this week and how I came to Him. He took all that and He said, that's the video I want you to put up. That's the word I want you to deliver. It's amazing how He works all things together. And when I finally was able to trust Him, He was able to give me that word, and I was able to share it. And I hope that it really makes you think, because it made me think for sure. And I hope it gives you a new way of seeing things. If you're struggling with that, if you're somebody who struggles with focusing on Him, and you worry and you get distracted by the storm, and you get distracted by the things of life, then I hope that this will help you and remind you that in Him you can find rest. In Him that's your shelter, and you can find peace. But I just wanted to share that, and I hope that you guys really enjoyed the word, and I hope that it spoke to your heart in such a wonderful way. And like I said, put in the comments, I will focus on Him. Capital letters, Him. I will focus on Him. And because He's the one that we got to focus on. He's amazing. He's a good God. Um, mm, Coffee. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to finish my Bible study, but I wanted to share the word, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It is Friday today. For me, I don't know when you are watching this, but I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.